And we're here for Greece versus England, match 1. We have Honor Lion versus Phoenix. I don't know which brand of Phoenix this is. I think it's Seeker Void IMS, which will be just kind of your generic mid-range Phoenix list. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Consumed by 5 fires as the restricted card. Alright, looks like we're about to get started. So we see double hero of 3 trees, a Mozo and an Omodaisu against Fearsome Mystic, Nia Mystic, Ethereal Dreamer, and we have Imperial Storehouse. Alright, so we see bids of 1 and 3. Honor Lion is not going to bid anything more than 1. And we'll see how the game goes from here. Yeah, I mean, I personally don't agree with this certain playstyle of super low fading. Like in certain matchups, you just get outvalued. I feel like if you just play if you're not gonna win fast. So playing this kind of like low fade game just is asking for variance to help you out in flipping more ways to gain honor. Like this hero of three trees just got voided, right? Like Gzoymp won Earth and Void here on turn one. Dario's at 15 honor and just lost more fate. He's down fate, down cards. He's up to 15 honor, but I mean like it's not like this is gonna he's gonna honor out next turn. So I personally don't like playing it this way, but I also can't, I'm not gonna argue with results, right? Like obviously Dario has done very well playing this deck. We see Jazoimp bought a Scholar and a 2 Fated Infernal Guard Invoker, and then we see Dario bought 3 characters with 1 Fate, Mozo, Hero of 3 Trees, and a Prodigy, which gave him another honor. He's going to attack air here, hits Upholding Authority, and we just see an all-out defense. We see a Kami Unleash come down. We might see a Cloud here. Okay, we don't have one. I probably would have just clouded the Kami, and then I guess maybe if you can't win the conflict, then it's awkward because you're just tied right now. And so Dario wins the conflict, goes to 18. So presumably we'll see a water attack here. We see in service to my lord bowing hero 3 trees to stand Mozo, but then we see Center cancel that on this defense here, and then we see a then we saw a disguise Tadaka to send him home after honoring with the Inferno Guard Invoker. We then see Tadaka get used during the conflict after in service to my lord is used from the discard pile. Way of the Lion discarded out of Honor Blade and Way of the Lion. And then we see a disguise of Zentaro, and then we see a military Earth conflict. Presumably at Upholding Authority, you just have one card in your hand. I think you're pretty fine with that happening. And then we see Mozo get used to pull Tadaka into the conflict. Tadaka is winning, so Gzoymp passes. We see Zentaro takes control of the Forgotten Library, which is awkward. Super awkward. We see another Prodigy, a Zentaro, and a Toturi. We see a Haughty Magistrate. The thing is, like, Gzoymp isn't getting these breaks fast enough. He's poking up before the throne. He doesn't have the ways to draw cards that you need. Like, obviously he had this library, but that's not enough. Like, you need ways to draw cards to pressure the honor player. And so we're kind of seeing this come down. We see Mozo attacks, or sorry, Mozo blocks and then pulls in Tadaka. Tadaka discarded the battlefield that lets you play characters from your provinces. So Dario wins, but then gets displayed. So overall, we see Void Ring used to remove a fate from Zentaro. Goes for Mill Water here. Again, we're just poking. We're not gaining any ground. This is just not the way that you're gonna win, I think. Yeah, yeah. I'll guess he, or I mean, yeah, yeah. He definitely has at least one or two. No, V Power, you're wrong about Clarity and Q Nakoma. Clarity stops Q Nakoma from bowing, or I mean, Clarity stops Q Nakoma from bowing. Both players bid one again. We see Toturi with one, Moto with one. We saw Ujina with three, so this is pretty big. Ujina is definitely pretty important here. Ujina allows this board to kind of get shaved down. Uh, a Hair Witch Naive Phoenix guy? I don't even think he's playing Naive Student. Oh, yes. Sorry, he's playing Naive Student for favor also. I didn't know. I didn't know if they were playing him or not. He's not a Shugenja, so a lot of lists don't necessarily play him. He's played for the glory and the card, but definitely not the greatest card in this. I mean, he's a one drop. I don't know how strong you need him to be. I don't know what you define by quite weak. I mean, if he was like the reason he's weak in quotation marks is that he's not a Shugenja. Overall, he's actually quite strong. Like I'm pretty sure most clans would play him as a one drop. So Toturi runs into Shameful Display, as we see in All Out Defense here. We see Court Games get discarded from Honor Blade Way the Line in Court Games. And then we see an Against the Waves to Ready Ujina. So we're going to see Void here. Paul Void, yep, that's what we see. Hits Art of War, obviously not the best thing that he wants to hit. Sees Art of War. When air, I see, just to take it off the board. Favorable ground moves Haughty into the conflict, just to prevent an honor loss, I guess. Uses the firing to honor Prodigy, and then we'll see Void here to kill this Toturi, probably. We see Prepare for War to make Toturi lose his Dishonor token. And then we're going to see a Void and a removal of the Toturi. Good hit on Kensen Ogaka, which means that this Prodigy can't honor itself again. So Gzoymp continues to win the favor, and now has 2 breaks. Has a Haughty still on the board with Ujina. We flip another library. We flip 2 1-drops and a Season for War. Or Season of War, is it? Season of War, sorry. We see Dreamer get used on air. I think Gzoymp might have another Tadaka here with without using the Season there. We see a Cloud Domain get used on Chronicler of Conquest. This is good. Stops the passive honor gain. We see a block by Mozo at Shameful Display. We're gonna probably see somebody get pulled in here. We see two bonsais on the Haughty Magistrate. So we can see someone get pulled in here, and then we can see a favorable out. Okay. We choose not to, because if you pull someone here, you force this use of the favorable ground. Discards Honor Blade at random. Now we have 3 breaks, and we're gonna also have we also have 3 standing characters, and then the Solemn Scholar's on now. We see Military Air, Paul Air, interesting, considering you have 6 Paul Ugina, but I guess maybe if you get LPB bigger. You can just triple block here and then be safe and don't do anything, even if you don't like, and then go for the break next turn. Because Lion's not in range where you have to be worried of them going first. And it's really important that you oh wait, sorry, one of the still a Tatori here. Oh, he removed this character from the game instead of the Tatori. Interesting. We see a Censure cancels Prepare for War to remove the Cloud the Mind. LPB Bow the Dreamer at home. I don't know why you don't block with the Dreamer if it's on air. It's just gonna get bowed. I guess you don't have to worry about it. I guess this forces the bow on it at home, and this leaves you a character at home. I can only imagine you have something here though. Otherwise, I don't know why you have so much fate. Q Nakoma bows the Solemn Scholar. Yep. And then we had another Clarity onto Ugina, who's going for a Paul break here. Paul Water. I would consider going for Fire. You're not really worried about anything else? So this is the Spectral Visitation, which lets you put a character into play after milling 4. We see Cloak of Night for +3. And then we move the Haughty in. And because Ugina now has 5, he contributes, and that'll do it. I'm pretty sure he does play Storm, but I could be wrong. Actually, I don't think he does, because otherwise I don't think you would include all the non-Shigenja. All right, so that's game 1. I'm gonna stop the stream and then we'll just restart it with game 2.